Hello everyone. It's me, Cassandra from Mobile Om Yoga, and I'm so happy and grateful to have you joining me this evening for this virtual yoga practice brought to you from the San Pedro Creek Culture Park. So I'm here in downtown San Antonio, right along the San Pedro Creek on the boardwalk, ready to unwind from our Manic Monday, ready to de-stress the mind, de-stress the body. I've got a slower paced practice today where we're really gonna move and groove and find a nice comfortable space here on our mats. I'd like to first give a shout out to our sponsors for this experience who bring this free class every Monday at 6 p.m. from the San Pedro Culture Park, which is also the curators of this park and our sponsors, the San Antonio River Authority. So once again, thanks to the San Antonio River Authority for creating this free experience every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Thank you all for joining me. Let's unroll our mats and begin. So for practice today, we're going to start seated. And as you can see, I'm sitting here on a blanket, which can really be nice to help elevate the hips. So if you've got a blanket or even a towel you can fold up, I invite you to bring that into your practice so that you can find a nice little cushion and some ease in the hip space. So go ahead and bring the palms of your hands face down onto the thighs. And let's close our eyes a moment as we arrive. So just taking a few moments here to begin to pay attention to your breath. As you begin to pay attention and watch your inhales and exhales, just allow them to begin to slow down. Lengthening out. Today's practice is designed to help work through stress and anxiety. So anything in your life that you may be dealing with that's bringing the sensations of unease, we're here to work through it and not to solve our problems, but to give ourselves a nice soft landing place, to just be and breathe. Allow the palms of your hands to come together, weaving the fingertips and then placing the palms of the hands across the heart, our unshakable trust mudra. We'll take a few more really full deep breaths here, lifting the heart space up into the palms with each inhale, and then finding a pause right at the top of the breath. As you pause at the top, see if you can soften your body around that pause, the shoulders down. Exhaling out completely when you're ready, and then finding just a bit of pause at the bottom of your exhale. So just again, inhaling up to fullness, pausing at the top, softening the shoulders, the jaw, and exhaling completely to the bottom of the breath. Once again, finding that pause. So again, not to do anything about any of the stress or anxious thoughts you may have brought onto your mat. We're just here to get grounded in our breath, in our body. And this practice helps us to regulate our nervous system on a cellular level, coming down out of that state of stress and anxiety and into a place where we can rest and digest. And as we find these pause points between our breath, when we pause our breath, we pause our thoughts. It gives us the ability to come back into center. One more breath here. And empty it out. Go ahead and soften your hands back down onto the thighs. Take an inhale breath right where you are, and as you exhale, begin to let the right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Really pulling the shoulders down away from your ears as you allow that right shoulder to heavily fall towards the right ear. And then separate your back molars. Bring some softness into your jaw. Really big, deep breaths here. And you can help yourself out here by taking that right hand and bringing it across, like you're saying, like a Pledge of Allegiance, except take it to that left shoulder and then just gently press back on the tip of the left shoulder. So you're helping to place that shoulder back. You'll intensify the stretch you're feeling on the left side of the neck. Just breathe into that. And if you lifted that right hand after your next exhale, go ahead and settle that right hand down and begin to let the chin come down into the chest. And then taking your left ear towards your left shoulder, really letting the weight of the head fall over to the left side as you soften your jaw, your face, your brow. Maybe that left hand comes across towards the right shoulder as you gently press it back. Just letting the weight of the head get a little heavier towards that left side. Taking one more breath in here. And breath out. And let your chin come all the way down back into the chest. With your next inhale, just bring your head up into neutral. And take some shoulder rolls, inhaling the shoulders towards the ears really high. As you exhale, circle them back and let them sink down. And once again, inhale, round the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. One more time, inhale, take them really high up towards the ears. And as you exhale, settle them down the back. Really grounding the shoulders down as you continue to lift through the crown, feeling that tall stretch of the spine. And then taking your arms up to the sky, inhale, reach them up really high, bring the palms together, interlace the hands, and then press the palms up towards the ceiling or sky. So you're intensifying that length from sit bones to crown to palms, and then sinking those shoulders from your ears. Let's take one more inhale here. As you exhale, release the hands down behind you. Interlace the hands. As you inhale, open up the chest. Press the knuckles to the ground, lifting up through the heart. Take another breath in here. And as you exhale, release the hands as you fold over your legs towards the ground. Take a breath in here and a breath out. As you inhale, lift yourself halfway, left hand to the center of the mat. Inhale that right arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, start to thread it under. Bringing the back of the right hand to the ground, back of the right shoulder sinks. And you can press into the left hand to start opening up a little more to that left side. Big inhale. And exhale. Inhale up to center, open up that right arm. And as you exhale, bring the right hand center. Inhale, yawning up and open through the left arm. And as you exhale, thread the needle, coming on to the back of the left hand, left elbow. Pressing into the right hand to twist the torso open. Big breath in and out. And then inhale, coming back up, opening that left arm high. And exhaling it down. On your next inhale, bring the hands behind you, soles of the feet onto the ground, pressing into the earth. Lift your hips, lift your heart, stretching the front of the shoulders, the whole front body. And then go ahead, lowering back down to the hips. We'll turn over and find our way onto the hands and knees. We're gonna find your way into the hands and knees. Knees a little bit wider, big toes together, almost like child's pose. We're gonna take a variation of cat-cow here. So starting with the regular cat-cow, drop the belly, lift the gaze, and exhale to round. Now this time, you're gonna inhale, and we're just gonna start to make big kind of circles with the body. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. So you should be moving in one direction. When you come to the back this time, pause and just move about 3 times in the other direction. Just letting your body get a little fluid. That's the opposite of our stress, which can be very tightening. Go ahead and stack yourself back up. One more traditional cat-cow. Inhale the belly towards the earth. Exhale, tuck the chin and round it out. And then inhale into neutral. We'll make our way to the first downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift your hips all the way up and back. Take a moment here, but walk out your legs, stretching out the hamstrings one at a time. And then taking a moment with both heels extending towards the mat. Really soften your knees. Press the heart back to thighs. Try to soften as much as you can. Shoulders rolling away from the ears. Take an inhale and exhale here. And then we're just going to slowly begin to walk your feet towards the hands. Feet nice and wide, knees bent, halfway lift. We're ragdolling it out here. So let the upper body come all the way down towards the ground. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And release the crown a little deeper to the ground. You can stay here with the fingertips rooted or grab on opposite elbows. We're here to decompress, to de-stress the vertebrae of the spine. So you're imagining gravity pulling through the crown of your head and decompressing the space between each of the vertebrae. If you grab elbows, that adds a little more weight, but try not to let it pull the shoulders out of socket. Keep them plugged away from the ears. And give yourself a big yes with your head. Say, yes, I am here. And a big no, no, I don't want to be stressed out anymore. Bring the fingers to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, heart long. On the exhale, palms are going to come to the ground. Shift to the right foot. Step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat and begin to sink really deep into your front knee. You're going to lower your back knee to the ground. And we're just going to walk that right foot over to the left side. We're finding a half pigeon here. So you're bending the right knee towards the earth, and it's going to be to the outside of that right hip. And you can bring that right heel in as close to the body as you need to for your stability. Let's start upright, and I want you to peek back either over your right shoulder or over your left shoulder and make sure the back of the top of your back foot is on the mat. Take a big inhale here, stretching out through the front side of that left hip flexor. Roll the shoulders back, maybe even lifting through the throat if that feels okay to take the head back. One more breath here. And then we're just going to melt it forward on your exhale, bringing it down to the forearms perhaps. Maybe you have a space to stack your forehead either on the forearms or you can make fists. Or maybe the forehead comes all the way to the ground. Give yourself a grounding place physically here. Close your eyes and just soften into your breath. We're here to create a soft landing place, to have some compassion, some gentleness for yourself. And so landing softly of whatever discomfort may arise. Taking those pausing moments between your inhales and exhales to soften. Soften where you can here. So when we slow down, we notice that a lot of the spaces of stress within that we carry are unnecessary. And we exacerbate some of the issues by just focusing on them. And the immediate way to find ease is to come back to the breath. On your next inhale, begin to come up onto the palms of your hands. You're gonna tuck your back toes under, lift the knee, and then see if you can come all the way up to a three-legged downward dog, shaking that right leg up and kind of moving it around to try to get that energy, that stagnation, back into that movement. And then right foot settles to meet the left. You're gonna look forward as you inhale, shift forward onto into a high plank and drop your knees. Take a breath here. As you exhale, lower your chest and chin, coming down towards the mat. You're gonna take your hands to either side of the mat, elbows to the sky, creating a little tent here. I call this a swimming cobra. We're gonna inhale, swim the chest up, and exhale, lower it down. We're gonna do 2 more just like that. So inhale, as you lift up, you're kind of wrapping those elbows back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale to lower. Last time, inhale, lift, squeeze. Exhale to lower. Settle the palms back to the mat. Make your way to downward facing dog, however you journey to get there. Take a breath in and empty it out. Looking to your hands, you're taking a big step with that left hand, maybe a couple steps, and making your way into a low lunge, dropping the back knee to the mat. And then left foot's gonna walk over to the right side as you make your way into your half pigeon on that left side. Walk the right leg back. And again, you pull that left heel in to whatever extent feels good for you or feels stable for you. And then look over your shoulder. Make sure you're not curling in on that back leg. It's right on top of the leg. Pull the heart up, lift it up, finding a nice stretch in the front side of the body, the front hip flexor. And then as you exhale, settle yourself down. Onto the forearms, onto the forehead. And just arrive back at a nice, steady, long, deep breath. Again, we're not here to solve the problems or the triggers of our stress in a direct way. Just kind of allow whatever it is to be in the background and continue to let the active part of your awareness just stay grounded here. So in this moment, there is no stress. There is no anxiety or no need for it because we are okay. And let your breath be a barometer for that. Just softening in and noticing again where we may carry unnecessary stress. In the jaw, perhaps in the shoulders, in the face. And give yourself that nice soft grounding place to just be and breathe. Just like finding those pause at the top and bottom of the breath helps to still the mind. Taking this pause in our nervous system, taking this pause to come back to a state of rest, of ease, will help us to have more resilience in the space of our triggers and our stressors. In your next inhale, you'll begin to lift yourself up onto the hands, making your way into a three-legged downward facing dog, left leg to the sky to shake it out, move it around, and then go ahead and settle it back down, finding downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. On your next inhale, begin to come forward into your high plank. Drop the knees and exhale, slowly lower all the way to the mat. One more time through 3 of those swimming cobras. Fingertips to the sides. Inhale, swim up the heart. Wrap the elbows in, maybe even lifting the chin. Exhale, settle down. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, settle down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, go ahead and settle down. Bring your right ear to the ground. back of the hands onto the earth. Let your shoulders round for just a moment. We bring our bellies to the ground. It can be a very comforting space. Our squishy belly space is very vulnerable. So this is a great place to get grounded when sometimes our energy is just too much to handle. Just switch to the other ear for a few breaths. Long, full, deep breaths, focusing on the back body. And bringing your head back to center. And go ahead and bring yourself into child's pose. Lifting up, knees wide, big toes together. Settle the hips to heels. Settle the forehead all the way into the earth. Get grounded as you shake your head yes and no through that third eye. Meet yourself like you would meet a child. And as you meet yourself and see where you have needs, see where you may be hurting, just give yourself some grace and compassion here. Because right now we're safe and we're okay in this breath, just for now. Your next inhale, begin to lift up, and then just shift your hips to either side and come all the way down to lying on your back. If you're still using that blanket, I like to keep it as a little padding for my head at the top of the mat, and then lie yourself all the way down. Bring yourself into a full body stretch, reaching arms overhead, feet long. And then as you exhale, bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a really big hug here. Nose can come up to the knees, squeeze it in. And then release it back down. Keep that right knee hugged in. Extend your left leg down towards the mat. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, squeeze the knee in a little tighter. Maybe you feel that left leg lengthening out a little more to deepen this final stretch. And then releasing the right arm completely. You can bring it into a cactus or straight out. As you guide that left knee to the right knee to the left side, you're rolling onto that left hip. I'm getting a nice deep stretch, deep twist in the spine. Big, full, deep breaths here. Just letting gravity do the work. We're here to surrender that part of ourselves that wants to do more. And by doing less, we actually do more for ourselves. For that recharge, that restore. As you inhale, come back into center. You're going to bring the left knee in to meet the right. Straighten the right leg out. And then take an inhale here. As you exhale, draw the knee in a little bit closer. Take another breath in. One more time, squeeze it in. Maybe that right leg reaches longer down the mat. And then release the left arm to the left side as you begin to roll onto the right hip and twist into your final spinal twist. Big, full, deep breaths here. With your next inhale, begin to come back into neutral. Draw both of your knees into the chest once again. This time, bring your nose up towards your knees. Squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. And then exhale, allow the head to drop. Allow the feet to fall and lengthen out for your final space of surrender. Close your eyes and arrive back at your breath. It can be easy to jump back into whatever space you were in when you arrived, since we don't have the physical poses to distract us. So mindfully stay tuned in to the movement of your breath as an anchor. If your mind seems extra anxious, extra mobile today, you can use an affirmation to anchor the mind with the breath. As you inhale, just say to yourself, I am breathing in. And then pausing, and as you exhale, I am breathing out. And so your mind stays occupied with your breath. Each inhale, I am breathing in. Each exhale, I am breathing out. And if your pattern gets disrupted by a distracting thought, just label it. So just say, I am thinking, because I am human. And then you can clearly make the choice to come back. But you know what? I'm going to come back. I am breathing in, and I am breathing out. It's all a practice, not a perfection. We're just training ourselves to be resilient in each moment so that we can feed the space between, help ourselves stay a little more grounded and calm, to approach our lives with a little more clarity, peace, and ease. Taking one more moment to fully allow the entire physical body to melt into your mat. Even the subtle spaces, you may be carrying some stress or tension, and perhaps it's somewhere in your face, your shoulders, your feet, your fingers. I'm just scanning through and taking a moment to meet yourself where you're at. And allowing yourself to be at ease. And begin to mindfully deepen your breathing. As we begin to shift back into an awakening of our physical body, wake up, move, take the arms overhead. Maybe that stretch feels nice for you. Knees come in toward your chest, and let's roll into the fetal position on your right side, or your left side if that feels better for you, but allow your arm to be a little cushion. I'm going to take a few moments here, and then you'll gently press yourself up to seated, all the way upright. As we return back, let's weave the fingers across the chest, finding our unshakable trust. Imagining like a blanket, you're creating that soft, comfortable landing space for yourself. Close the eyes if you haven't already. Take a couple of long, full, deep breaths here. For me, the unshakable trust is that space within each and every one of you that dedicated and committed to being here. So knowing that that wisdom is within you at any time, and allowing the tools that we use on our mats, the tools of our breath, the tools of awareness of where we may bring anxiety or stress into our physical being. And that we can take these practices into moments where they really matter the most. So thank you so much for showing up for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's take one more collective breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Bring that warmth of your palms, that warmth of your commitment. Allow the palms to seal together. Bringing the thumbs of your hands to touch the center of your forehead. Lifting tall through the crown, sitting tall and proud. Honoring yourself, honoring those who are joining us in this virtual class. I honor the space in each of you. Namaste.